Have you ever felt miserable while waiting? Did you feel jammed, like you're stuck and you think it will take forever? Waiting can be frustrating. It's hard. Nobody likes it. But like it or not, many circumstances in our lives will find us waiting. Studies shows that the average person has waited 2 to 3 years of their lives for something. What? That got me thinking. You mean all those waiting in line, to get food in supermarkets, to get a movie ticket, queuing to buy fuel, and even waiting to download music or waiting to see a doctor takes that long? It can amount to 2 to 3 years of our lives. Wow, that's unbelievable. Welcome to Amazing Grace with Bosse. How you doing? I hope this video finds you well. If you're watching this show for the first time, welcome. We are all about equipping you with the tools to live a better and more fulfilling life. So, click on the subscribe button, and for those watching on WhatsApp, click on the link, not on the picture, and it will take you to YouTube, and then you can subscribe and join the amazing family. Today, we will be talking about the psychology of waiting. Knowledge, they say, is power. Now, it will shock you to know that there are people who are experts on waiting in line. Wow, Oyibo people are too much. They even teach the mathematics and physics of queuing. As a matter of fact, there's a graduate course in MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, on queuing. Isn't that amazing? Now, we all know that the thoughts of waiting for anything in life can be discouraging. But sometimes the waiting is really not as bad or not as long as you think. How you view and judge waiting will be dependent on the value, the experience, and what happens at the end. Quite often, when there are more than one queue, say you are driving and there are several lanes, or you want to pay the cashier for goods you have purchased, you naturally do a mental scan to assess the number of people on each line, and then you choose a shorter line. That's what we all do. And that's hoping to get out of there as fast as you can. But many times, the so-called short line will stop moving, and you start to stretch to see what's happening or holding up the line. And so sometimes you switch lines to the faster line and you still get stuck. And the line you left starts to move faster. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has. At this point, your brain starts to tell you to look at the time. You're looking at the time. And it makes you anxious and even angry. And it starts to give you the feeling that you're wasting your precious time. And indeed, it makes the wait appear much longer. Researchers have looked at the time spent in the queue when there are multiple lines and several cashiers vis-a-vis when there's a single line where you go to the next available cashier to pay. Their findings show that the waiting time is the same, but the customer experience and satisfaction is way different and better, and that's because customers value fairness. They don't want to see someone who came into a new line pay before them. Now, apart from waiting on a queue, waiting to be attended to, there's also the general waiting for something good to happen in your life. It could be waiting to get married, waiting for the fruit of the womb, waiting for that promotion, waiting for the salary increase, waiting for your loved ones to get well. The list is endless. In all of the waiting, whether you are on a queue or waiting for something special to happen in your life. It's important that you occupy yourself. Get busy. Don't put your life on hold waiting. You could read a book, play a game, do some steps when you're waiting for your flights, pursue a certification, learn a new skill, anything to get your mind off. It will help you a great deal. When you start to occupy yourself, you stop looking at the time over and over again, and your brain redirects itself to the new activity, and you find that the time looks shorter because you have been occupied, and before you know it, you will get what you have been waiting for. What it means, therefore, is that you can manipulate time in your favor. Worry can trigger your fight or flight mode, which is a reaction to what you see as stressful. Worrying is fruitless and makes you feel really bad. Do you know that worry can take an emotional and physical toll on your health? If you experience this often, psychologists say it can lead to insomnia, which is a lack of sleep, stomach ache, and even high blood pressure. Better to use your time positively than worrying. So, let's take a look at some of the things you can do to reduce your waiting time for your own good. Number 1, take a deep breath. Just breathe. It's free. Thank God for technology. Now we have devices that reminds us to breathe. This is very easy to do. I do this all the time. Just close your eyes and use the time to practice deep breathing. Inhale, count to 5 and then exhale. Let's try it. That's it. It helps to calm you. 2, stimulate your senses. Now, how do you do that? Depending on where you are, you can either go take a bath, splash some water on your face. You can use a ball like this and squeeze as often as you can. Or you can clench your fist very tight. Hold it for a few seconds and release it. It will help to release tension. 3, find something to distract you, to take away your mind from the waiting. Do a word puzzle on your phone. Read a book. Listen to music. Learn something new. Go back to school and focus on it. And try not to wander with your thoughts and waste your time. Will yourself to enjoy and make the best of the moments. 4, do not isolate yourself when you're waiting. Keep engaging. Do not put your life on hold while waiting. Most people are anxious. They feel shame and become timid, and they don't want to mess up with people. You invite them for an event. They give you an excuse. They stop going to church or socializing, and they generally stop what they love to do because they are waiting for answered prayers. Hey, we are all waiting for something. Yes, that's the truth. Everybody has something they wish for. To each his bukata. Move on and live life while waiting. 5, come up with your own mantra. Repeat to yourself as many times as you need to. Tell yourself, I am an overcomer. I am worthy. I am enough. I am capable. I am strong. I have the strength of the divine. I no longer allow fear to rule me. I am peaceful. Say the serenity prayer. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Come up with something, say it, and believe it. 6. Pray and pray. Prayer, no dey too much. Now, let's be real. All of this is easier said than done when you're waiting. Waiting is tough. But people have done it. People have waited, and they're still waiting. And most times, and even all times, you have no power over what you're waiting for. People's lives have been saved just because they were delayed or waiting to get a cup of coffee. People have prospered just because they were abandoned. So, when there's a delay in your life, and delay of any kind, when you need to wait, take it in your strides. No matter how difficult it is, try. Find something to occupy yourself. Yes, no matter the kind of waiting, it is hard, but I believe strongly that there's a purpose in the waiting. God can still use us in those moments, even though it feels like we are not where we belong yet. All things work together for good for those that love the Lord. And that's our show for today. Until I come your way again, engage, keep busy, occupy, and pray while you wait. Bye-bye.